Imagine lying in a dimly lit room, eyes closed, completely asleep, yet your consciousness slips out of your body, travels across states, across oceans, through time and space. You begin describing a man lost at sea, his surroundings, the name of the boat, the condition he's in, and every detail you share is later confirmed to be true. But you never left your room. In fact, you were in a deep trance, whispering these visions while others took notes. You weren't awake, yet you were more awake than ever before. This is the mystery of Edgar Cayce. And today, we're diving deep into one of the most inexplicable phenomena of the 20th century. Edgar Cayce's remote viewing, a real-life power that defies science, logic, and even our understanding of time itself. Stay with me to the end of this video, because I'll not only reveal a mind-bending story of Cayce's abilities, but also how you might unlock a piece of this mystery in your own life. This isn't just a historical tale. It's a map pointing inward to the hidden powers of your own mind. Edgar Cayce is often remembered as the sleeping prophet, but what few people realize is how far-reaching his abilities really were. He wasn't just predicting events or diagnosing illnesses. He was tapping into a realm that seemed to lie beyond the physical, a field where time didn't exist, where information was pure, instant, and unlimited. He called this realm the Akashic records, a sort of soul library that held the history and future of every being. From this space, Cayce could access the unseen. He would lay down on a couch, enter a hypnotic trance, and begin to speak in a low, steady voice. The moment his conscious mind stepped aside, something extraordinary stepped in. But was it remote viewing? The term remote viewing wasn't coined until decades later during CIA-funded experiments. Yet what Cayce did shares all the hallmarks. He described people's physical locations with shocking accuracy. He saw events unfolding in real time, sometimes halfway across the world. He tapped into locations, objects, people, even thoughts, without ever opening his eyes. Let's explore one of the most famous and mystifying examples. A man named David Conn contacted Cayce in desperation. His son, lost at sea, had vanished without a trace. Rescue efforts had failed. Time was running out. Cayce entered his usual trance, and his words began to flow. He described the missing man's location, not in vague terms, but precise ones. Cayce named a point off the coast of Florida and said the man was alive, but trapped in an overturned boat. Authorities followed Cayce's directions, and there he was, exactly as described. This was not a one-off case. Time and again, Cayce turned into missing people, distant illnesses, or even places he'd never visited, as if he were tuning into a cosmic GPS, one guided not by satellites, but by the soul itself. So how did he do it? Cayce said that the human mind, when detached from ego and the five senses, could move freely. It could travel, it could receive. In his own words, the soul had access to all time and space, and when we sleep or enter deep, meditative states, we touch that same thread. He believed we are more than flesh and blood. We are spirit first, temporary travelers in human form. The moment we learn to relax our identity, our conditioning, our logic, and instead surrender to that deeper voice within us, we access something truly supernatural. Though Cayce would argue it's actually quite natural, and the implications are staggering. If a man from Kentucky in the early 1900s could describe unseen locations from a trance, diagnose illnesses without a medical degree, or access wisdom beyond his education, what does that say about you? About the hidden capacities within your own consciousness? Think about it. Cayce had no scientific background. He was a humble, religious man, often afraid of his own gift. He didn't seek fame or money. He simply wanted to help. His entire journey began when he lost his voice, and through a strange experiment in hypnosis, began to speak again. Only it wasn't just his voice returning. It was something far deeper, something ancient. Now here's where it gets personal. Many who study Cayce's life begin to notice strange things in their own. Heightened intuition, sudden insights, vivid dreams with hidden meanings, a sensation that they're connected to something much larger. You may have felt it too. Maybe you've had a dream that came true, or a feeling about someone that turned out to be spot on, or perhaps you've had moments of knowing without knowing how you know. Cayce's story reminds us that these abilities aren't reserved for a gifted few. They are part of the human experience, if we're willing to listen. So how can you apply this mystery to benefit your life? Begin with silence. Cayce always entered a relaxed state, one of stillness and surrender. You can do the same through meditation, breath work, or even simply lying down with the intention of opening your mind. Ask a question, a real one that matters to you, something about your path, your health, your relationships. Then wait. Don't force the answer. Let it rise. Pay attention to the images, feelings, or words that surface. Over time, you may notice these inner impressions become clearer, stronger, more accurate. You're tuning your inner receiver, just as Cayce did. You can also keep a dream journal. Cayce said that dreams were the language of the soul. They often hold symbolic keys to situations in our waking life. By honoring your dreams and writing them down each morning, you're telling your subconscious, "I'm listening," and as your awareness sharpens, you'll begin to feel guidance. Sometimes subtle, sometimes overwhelming. Trust it, act on it. That's how you build a bridge between the seen and unseen worlds. There's another practice Cayce recommended: living with purpose and integrity. He believed the more aligned your life was with spiritual principles, love, kindness, service, the clearer your channel to the greater field of truth. In other words, the more sincere your heart, the more accurate your vision. That's something every mystic, prophet, and seer has echoed across time. Truth flows to the pure of heart. So let me ask you, what would your life be like if you began accessing guidance from within? What if you could tune into the same field Cayce did, not to predict the future, but to live more fully in the present? Because that's the real secret behind Edgar Cayce's remote viewing mystery. It wasn't about magic tricks or psychic parlor games. It was about healing, connection, service, aligning with something bigger, and remembering who we truly are beneath the noise of the world. So I invite you now to pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what is your inner voice trying to say? Before you go, I want to hear from you. Which part of this story shook your reality the most? Was it the idea that a sleeping man could describe distant events? Or the possibility that you might hold that same power? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what resonated or challenged you. And if you found this journey, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Inner Voice Joy. We explore deep mysteries, intuitive truth, and how to live from your soul's highest wisdom. This is just the beginning, because when you awaken the unseen, life becomes magical. See you in the next one.